It's kind of an interdisciplinary platform from Aalto University and kind of gathering all different students together, business students and industrial design students and engineers and so on. For students, we offer like spaces, working spaces, meeting spaces, and also they have the cafes, and we have the tools and people who can help them, like staff people with different fields like electronics or mechanical things and so on. And we have also some companies in the house, and we have spaces for them where they can work openly and they get inspiration from students and work with them and cooperate with them. Yeah, we have very different spaces, and some of them are for team meetings, some are for prototyping, and some are for bigger lectures and like workshops and prototyping. We of course have all kind of different rooms. We have a Skype room, we also have a little telephone room in the library, and we have a library here. We have a meeting room for researchers here in the building, and we have a fat boy room where you can like hang out and have a like less official meeting. And then we have computer classes, small ones where you can work on. Downstairs we have a puuhapunkkeri, which is for workshopping, and we have all kind of tools there that the students can use freely, and you can make prototypes there and find materials to make your first prototypes, and it's all about like hands-on things, so you can really make fast prototypes and work actively on them and so on. This was actually I think empty, and this was an old like wood factory, and they did all kind of testings here. And first it was like, okay, this is a weird space and how can we make Design Factory into this? But then it actually worked quite well, and all people who come here from far away, they're like, how did you build this space? And we're like, no, we just came in here and made it look like us. Well, here this is kind of unique, but Aalto University have different kind of projects like Media Lab and Ad Lab, and they're not related to product development, but maybe more like 3D printing or other projects like that. And also we have the startup sauna over there for the startups more, and like they have similar spaces to us. We have like 40 courses each year, so we have really a huge variation of everything. And for example, in the PDP course we have everything till Kode is a sponsor, and also Audi has been a sponsor, and then we're also doing services, and it's really a great variation of everything, but yeah, mainly focused on product development. For example, I could mention the Catchbox, which is like a throwable microphone, and the idea was kind of developed here, and they started prototyping the first things here, and it's actually used in the stage now, and there we have the first Catchbox that has been built, and it's actually quite interesting because it has been really successful and it's used in TVs, and they have been shipping it to different countries. Well, we have some open events, but mainly it's for Aalto students. But I think like the atmosphere, and when you come here and you feel kind of the atmosphere, that's something why you should come here. And even if it's not only about design, but kind of the new way of working and learning and prototyping and doing stuff, that's kind of important.
My name is Raine Heikkinen. I work here in Kaapelitehdas, which is cable factory in English. Kind of the basic idea behind there is that we are recycling old buildings and turning them into some kind of cultural centers. One of the most important things there is the multidisciplinary system, where we try to make a good combination of different kind of cultural activities and some commercial activities as well, because we can provide cheap spaces for cultural companies, individuals, artists, organizations when we rent some of the spaces to the commercial ones, which pay much more. So when these big factories started to move outside, city had a big problem. They had these huge empty spaces that they didn't know what to do with it. And at the same time they had another problem. There wasn't good spaces for artists. In the beginning, when we started this work here, the city of Helsinki, the politicians, the people that make decisions, they didn't actually know what we are doing. They didn't understand us. And it took over 10 years from them to figure out that we are actually doing something good. There was actual need for gallery spaces. There was actual need for artist studios, for like band practice rooms here. City of Helsinki didn't have any band practice rooms in the mid-80s. So we were the first ones to provide actual spaces that were designed for these kind of things. We are really flexible to the ideas of the customers, and we have a big tolerance to really weird stuff. We have a lot of photographers here. We have a lot of painters here. We have several performance groups. They do theater, dance and circus and such things. We have several museums here. We have some schools which teach you art and different things. We have an architectural school for children. And then we have the commercial side. We have 3 television stations and several radio stations, couple of film companies and such things, designers and everything basically.
I think it's a good environment because there are a lot of other arts, lots of culture here in this building, and maybe the other biggest reason is that the location is so good.
We start from the space and we try to figure out what kind of clients we could have there or what kind of use the space would be best suited. We actually can choose our customers. It may take 5 to 10 years to get in. Most of times we know all the other organizations around the city. We are doing collaborations with them every time that it's possible. And my personal view is that the cultural actors and organizations that do as much collaborations as possible are the ones that survive. We are now in middle of really expanding and progressive areas. There is 2 spaces, the big old harbor areas, that will be changed into residential areas. At the moment, City of Helsinki actually asks from us what should be done to develop these areas. In that sense, everything has turned completely over. It's like today they ask our opinion. They didn't do that 15 years ago. We kind of want to make our surroundings, people that are living close by the residential areas, we want them to be involved here. We are trying to find companies, organizations, ideas, whatever that would be beneficial to everyone in general. In general, we don't get any money from the City of Helsinki. We provide something to them, we solve some of their problems, and they actually think us as an example and they show what we do around the world. Most of the people know our buildings from the events. Simply that if we have a big concert here, it's obviously something that will be talked about. If we ask from someone, that most of the time they say that we have been into some kind of gig here, or we have seen some kind of arts exhibition, or we were going to see the winter circus, or yeah, you have the photography museum here. So everything has changed. Yeah. Everything has changed completely. When we started to work here, the surrounding area called Ruoholahti, the residential area, it didn't exist. Everything has changed and overall thinking has changed. So we try to make these residential areas as nice and as suitable to live in there. And one thing there is that we try to encourage people to take over their own spaces. So we try to encourage the citizens to kind of be creative. We are saying that since we made it, you can do it as well. So.
Okay. People know the place and they come here regularly, and there's a lot of people coming here. So where else you can get that many people? You know, we have our office in the same building, and it has an artistic and creativity atmosphere. So it fits to our philosophy.
In the beginning especially, we had very nice neighbors. We had actually 3 contemporary art organizations just right here in the same floor. Now at the moment there's just one of them left because people are changing, but there was a lot of for us the right kind of organizations and right kind of people were close to us here.